are here to take part and share our views and expertise in terms of human resource development of the South Asian region. With that aim, we are here with lots and lots of experience that we gathered individually, and we are here hand in hand to share and care and formulate the best possible suggestions to our policymakers. So this is what we are aiming at. This is the inaugural session of Public-Private Partnership for Skills Development in the SAARC region, organized by the SAARC Human Resource Development Center, Islamabad, Pakistan, hand in hand with National Institute of Education in Sri Lanka. Well, I can see the smiles of South Asian region right now here in Colombo today, and to welcome you all at this session, I cordially invite Professor W.M. Abhiratna Bandara, Director General, National Institute of Sri Lanka.
Honorable Bandula Gunawardena, Minister of Education. Honorable Mohan Lal Grero, Monitoring MP, the Ministry of Education and Skill Development. Your Excellencies, High Commissions and Ambassadors of SAARC countries. Dr. Rafid, the Director of SAARC Human Resource Development Center, Secretary to the Ministry of External Affairs, Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Secretary to the Ministry of Higher Education, Secretary to the Ministry of Skill Development, representative officers from the ministries, Chancellor, University of Vocational Technology Training, Vice Chancellor, University of Vocational Technology Training, Chairman of the National Education Commission, Chairman, Salaries and Cadre Commission, Director General, SAARC Divisions of the Ministry of External Affairs, delegates from SAARC countries, representatives from World Bank, UNICEF and GIZ, Chairman of the State Trading Corporation, members of the NIE Council and the Academic Affairs Board, resource persons of the workshop, chairpersons of the academic sessions, and delegates from Sri Lanka, ADGs and others, staff members of the NIE in Sri Lanka, distinguished guests, media personnel, and other facility staff and friends. I am privileged to welcome you all personally and on behalf of NIE and Ministry of Education in Sri Lanka and the National Institute of Education of Sri Lanka to witness these great occasions. It is a great pleasure and an honor to be a part of this historical event to which we have received delegates from all the SAARC countries. I hope you will spend a very productive 3 days workshop and contribute to the human resource development process in the SAARC region. Welcoming you again to this event, I conclude my welcome address, wishing you a pleasant stay in Sri Lanka. Finally, I would like to apologize from the foreign delegates for my inability to speak in their own languages. Thank you very much.
The keynote address and the most important address this morning that will come out with the most significant topics that you are here to discuss during the coming days. Let's welcome Dr. Rifat Aish Anis, Director, SAARC Human Resource Development Center of Pakistan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mr. Bandwala Gurawardne, Honorable Minister of Education, Sri Lanka, Mr. S.M. Gotabaya Jayawardene, Secretary, Ministry of Education, Professor W.M. Abhiratna Bandara, Director General NIE, Excellencies, delegates from Sri Lanka, my resource persons and participants, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. It is indeed a matter of great honor and pleasure for me to extend warm welcome on behalf of SAARC Human Resource Development Center, Islamabad, Pakistan, to all of you this morning in the workshop on public-private partnership for skills development in the SAARC region. This workshop has been jointly organized by the SAARC Human Resource Development Center and the National Institute of Education, Colombo, Sri Lanka. As you are aware that the South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation, that is SAARC, was established in December 8, 1985 with the formal adoption of its charter by the heads of the states of Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. Afghanistan became the 8th member of the association in April 3rd in 2007. The SAARC Human Resource Center is one of the regional institutions of SAARC, which was established in the year 1996 in Islamabad, Pakistan. The aim of the center is to develop human resources in the region by imparting training courses, conducting workshops, undertaking research, and disseminating information on HRD issues, policies, and strategies. The training course of the centers are usually conducted in Islamabad, whereas the workshops are conducted in the member states after the approval of the governing boards and the program standing committee. And this is for the first time in the history of the SHRDC that all the 8 member states are participating in this workshop. This workshop highlights a very important aspect of private partnerships for skill development in the SAARC region. As you know, over the past several years, attention has been paid to PPPs, keeping in view their enormous roles to promote socio-economic development, including human resource development. Such partnerships encourage multiple stakeholders to engage in collaborative actions to achieve a common goal and shared objectives. More desired outcomes are expected through these joint efforts than working alone. Experiences have indicated that countries with more capacity to develop human capital through skills development have a better understanding of the importance of close cooperation between the various public and private sector stakeholders who are proactive in developing and implementing collaborative initiatives and partnerships. The main objective of the workshop is to identify and disseminate appropriate experiences and lessons that could be replicated to improve the development and performances of the public-private partnerships for enhancing skills development in the region. The more specific objectives of the workshop are to discuss country-specific information and statistics related to skills development and public-private partnerships during country report presentations, to explore the best practices on skills development through public-private partnerships regionally and worldwide, to identify gaps in designing, implementing, and maintaining public-private partnerships for skills development in the region, and to suggest modalities for policymakers and stakeholders to develop implementable policies to promote public-private partnerships for skills development. I hope that deliberations and lectures by the learned scholars of the region would be very helpful for the participants to understand the topic. The topic is indeed important, and I'm confident that participants would find this workshop useful and relevant. I'm thankful to the Honorable Minister of Education for gracing the occasion. I'm also thankful to Professor Bhandara, Mr. G.K. Amalgoda, and their team members for their kind support and cooperation in organizing this workshop. I would like to thank the SAARC Secretariat and Ministries of External/Foreign Affairs of all the member states for nominating relevant participants and resource persons. My sincere thanks are due to Madam R.D. Rajapakse, Director General, SAARC, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Her support and cooperation is tremendous throughout the time period since I have joined this SAARC for the last 3 years. I am also thankful to all the participants and resource persons for being with us, and I wish them best of luck and a very memorable stay in Colombo in Sri Lanka. And in the last but not least, I would like to say that Sri Lankans are very dear to us. They are very near to our hearts. And once again, I'm thankful to everybody who is here. Thank you very much, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, to address the inaugural speech, I warmly welcome Honorable Minister, Education Minister of Sri Lanka, Bandula Gunawardena.
His Excellency High Commissioners of SAARC countries, delegates from SAARC countries, Dr. Rifat Danish, Director SAARC Human Resources Development Center, Secretary to the Ministry of External Affairs, Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Secretary to the Ministry of Skills Development, Chairman of the National Education Commission, Director General of National Education Institute, Director General SAARC Division of Ministry of External Affairs, Chairman of Salaries and Cadre Commission, resource person of this workshop, delegates from Sri Lanka, and my dear friends. On behalf of Sri Lanka and the Ministry of Education, I warmly welcome you all this workshop. As the Minister of Education of Sri Lankan government, I am very much privileged and happy to witness the grand inauguration of the SAARC Human Resources Development Workshop 2013, jointly organized by the SAARC Human Resources Department Center, Islamabad, Pakistan, and National Institute of Education, Sri Lanka. The theme of this workshop, Public-Private Partnership of Skills Development in SAARC region, is very relevant to SAARC region, which is undergoing massive change in social, cultural, economic and educational sectors, as well as human resources development. It is a well-accepted fact that skills development of labor force of a country is a key factor ensure economic development SAARC region. Being lavishly blessed with its human capital is going to be a center of the world economy. If the condition of making its labor force skillful is accomplished, it is not a task that can fulfill by governments alone. Private sector of a country has a mammoth responsibility in achieve this target. This is why I emphasize that the theme of this workshop is of timely relevance to the SAARC region. As the Ministry of Education, I am very happy to see that the National Institute of Education is playing a key role in organizing this workshop. We, in Sri Lankan education system, have rightly understood the importance of skills development and the role of private sector in the realizing this objective. I am proud to announce you that we all meet here in Colombo at the time the Sri Lankan education system has reached significant juncture. To make the vision of His Excellency President Mahinda Rajapaksa regarding the Sri Lankan education reality, we have been able to include a new subject stream to school system, the technology stream. So far, we have had only 3 subject streams: science and mathematics, commerce, and arts for the advanced level students in Sri Lanka. This has created a severe imbalance in the labor force in the country. As a result, we have not been able to produce human resources required by the labor market. As a result of the inclusion of the technology stream, I am sure that we will be able to produce a skilled, quality human resources to future world. National Institute of Education, as the apex body in country's general education, has heavy responsibility in working closely with the private sector of the country. It makes this a reality. It is in the context I see the SAARC Human Resources Development Workshop very much relevant to Sri Lanka. As I have been informed, we have delegates from all the SAARC countries here today. And I see it as a very positive juncture. I hope you will be able to stay experienced regarding the main theme of the workshop and to plan progressive country-specific measures to establish healthy partnership between the private and public sectors of your countries. Sharing and caring has been very dynamic feature of the South Asian Society for countries. One of the most dynamic feature that keep the SAARC region is this quality of sharing and caring. We in the SAARC region have been helping each other in many aspects of life, such as education, economic development, culture and politics. We share the happiness of success as well as sorrow of failure. It is with the gratitude mention the unconditional support we received from the SAARC countries to restore peace in Sri Lanka. We all are here in this beautiful country as a result of the united struggle we had for peace. It is not only a struggle for peace, we have to peace, but also there are other challenges we have to face as a regional association. One major challenge we have before us is to fight against poverty that prevails over the SAARC region. Education and skills development are the only way to elevate poverty. The way achieve the targets of quality education and skills development through education. I am sure the SAARC region will be the economic leader in the world with its human capital. After establishing peace, Sri Lankan government has very clearly understood the urgent need for education and skills development in order to achieve economic development in the country. His Excellency Mahinda Rajapaksa's vision for Sri Lanka is very clear. We are determined to make Sri Lanka the knowledge hub in the region. To make this vision a reality, there is one condition, as mentioned earlier in my speech, that is produce skilled labor instead to unskilled labor and deliver which can enhance to productivity and effectiveness of production and deliver of goods and services. Public-private partnership is the best way to achieve this goal. I invite you all to be guided by principal theme of workshop and dedicate your time, create better future for SAARC region. Finally, I must thank the SAARC Human Resources Development Center, Islamabad, Pakistan, and its director, Dr. Rifat Anis, for selecting Sri Lanka to host this year's workshop. and the Ministry of External Affairs for facilitating the organization of the workshop. Though you have heavy academic schedule, I hope we'll be able to enjoy your stay in my beautiful country with its wonderful people. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Slowly and steadily, by listening to the inaugural speeches, we are settling ourselves to grab and understand the core of this session. In his speech, the Honorable Minister, representing the public sector, SAARC Human Resource Development Center's theme itself suggests public-private partnership for skills development in the SAARC region. So the public and private sectors collaboration is what we are thinking about at this moment. So the importance he has emphasized, and we are now settling down to work on it during the rest of the day and the coming couple of days in Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, right now we open up the next session to present the mementos for the special distinguished guest at this moment. Awarding of mementos. We invite to deliver the vote of thanks at this occasion Mr. S.M. Gotabaya Jayaratne, Secretary, Ministry of Education of Sri Lanka.
Honorable Bandula Gunawardena, Minister of Education Sri Lanka, as well as the Dr. Rifad Ayesha Anis, Director SAARC Human Resource Development Center, Secretary, Ministry of Higher Education, Secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Professor Bandara, Director General, National Education Institution, and Chairman of the National Education Commission, as well as Vice Chancellors and Additional Secretaries of the Ministry, all the participants of the SAARC countries, and distinguished guests. It gives me a great pleasure to propose the vote of thanks as a Secretary of Ministry of Education in the end of the inaugural session of the important and international event. Actually, we have the whole world within the SAARC region. We have given so much priorities of the human resource development. And the current situation, the global context, whole the world has given more priority for the knowledge development. Knowledge power has given more priority. Based on these things, actually, this workshop has given tremendous support to achieve the objective of this international workshop. Human resource being as a most important resource which we have in the world. HRD, human resource development, plays major role in the development of the many sectors in the organization. Realization of the target of any organization dependent on the qualities of people working in the organization. Their qualities has given more priority for the contribute to achieve the objective of the country as well as institution. That is the reason why all the successful organizations in the world pay highest attention to develop their human resources. Same like government of Sri Lanka also has given more priority for the human resource development at the current situation, which has given priority as a public-private partnership to develop the knowledge based on this objective also really important for the current situation. Based on this background, actually, I really thank to the Honorable Minister, Ministry of Education, has given fullest cooperation and a strong political leadership to success of this workshop. And also I should have to thank Director Rafid Ayesha Nias, Director SAARC Human Resource Development Center, accepting our invitation and supporting and cooperating us to organize this event. Especially I should have to thank Secretary Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Secretary Ministry of Higher Education, and especially Professor Bandara, Director General of the National Education Institution, who has tremendous support to organize this event successfully on behalf of the Sri Lanka. As well as I should have to thank all the members of the SAARC countries and all members of the the private sector corporation and representative from the GTZ as well as EKSP project and all the participants and leaders of the organization. Unless your support and cooperation, we may not be able to achieve the successfully of this this workshop. And my gratitude also I goes to management of the Hilton Hotel and all the participants and all the staff of the NIE given full support and cooperation to organize this event successfully. And I wish workshop on the private public partnership for the skill development SAARC region to success the objective of this workshop. Thank you very much for you all.